Right now it's all falling apart. Right now you don't know where to start. Right now the walls are caving in.
I am RJ Smith. Welcome to this thing of ours, Crazy News React, where me and Ryan scour the globe for the craziest, weirdest, most strange news in the world and bring it to you every day. This afternoon, I've got something special. I don't talk about prison much, but I'm very interested in the entire topic, and that's why I'm a criminologist by trade. Tonight, I want to tell you a little bit about prisons and parole hearings, what to do and what people shouldn't do if they want to actually make parole. The United States incarcerates more than 1 million people in, get this, 1,700 prisons. Picture that. Each prison holds about between 1,000 and 2,000 people. It's absolutely big business. Over 200,000 of them are serving life sentences, and 50,000, or 25%, are serving life without the possibility of parole. That means they will never eat meat again. Beef, pork, none of that. Prisons don't serve it. They like to feed inmates the cheapest, most disgusting food on the planet. I have tasted it, and trust me, you ain't missing anything. They'll never have pizza, hamburger, anything special like that again. They will never have ice cream. All of that's off the table. The only thing they feed in prison is soy products, which causes a lot of health problems for the inmates. If you go to a prison website and look at the pictures, you can see that they look yellow. And that's because of the very rich soy diets they're given. But this is about parole. And there's about 3 million people on parole here in the United States. That's a huge number. And 46% of them do not successfully complete parole or probation. Recidivism is very high. Not so much for new crimes, but rule violation. Things like going outside after a certain time. Maybe you can't drive, smoke a joint, you're not supposed to do drugs. That all sends people back to prison. 1/4 fail on parole within the first 3 years. As a result, more than 200,000 return to prisons every year because of violations of parole. So the story today is about this guy who went to a parole hearing, and I want you to pay close attention to the body language and the answers, along with the yes ma'am, no ma'am, and we're going to go through it. I'm going to teach you the body language and show you what these people should not do if they want to get out on parole. Let's go.
Introduce yourself, Mr. Hart, and tell us your name and DOC number, please.
My name is Michael Horton, 484353.
Mr. Harton, my name is Cheryl Renanza. This is Mr. Roche and Mr. Freeman seated with me this morning. We are your panel today. We're here for a revocation decision. And I think in front of you, sir, do you have a parole revocation questionnaire?
Yes, ma'am.
That's your signature at the bottom of that page, dated December 5th, 2023.
Yes, ma'am.
Based on that information, sir, you're not eligible for appointed counsel. So are you ready to proceed this morning with your revocation decision?
Yes.
All right. So I'll read the allegation against you, after which you'll enter a plea guilty or not guilty to violating the condition, and then we'll talk about it. So you're accused of violating condition number 4, and it says on April 22nd, 2023, you were arrested by Shreveport police for committing the misdemeanor offense of battery of a dating partner. On November 13th, 2023, you pled guilty to the amended charge of disturbing the peace. So how do you plead to violating condition number 4?
Not guilty.
You want to tell us what happened?
Yeah, on that date, the victim came over there, the alleged victim came over there to my house, and she started a commotion, and then cause she thought I was talking to the other woman that was there, because there was a lot of friends and family there. And they end up getting into it, having words, and they exchanged blows, and next thing you know, everybody stopped them from fighting. Next thing you know, about 2 hours later, the police came. And they asked who was Michael Horton, and I said, it's me. Next thing you know, they asked what happened, and a couple of people told them what happened. Next thing you know, the police said if they found out that they lying for me, that they were gonna take them to jail. Next thing you know, an argument came between the police officer and my witnesses, because they threatened my witnesses. Next thing you know, they went ahead and locked me up and charged me with domestic dispute. But they came back like an hour later and charged me with battery of a dating partner, because they said the girl was lying about being pregnant to enhance my charges. So I bonded out, told my parole officer what happened and everything, and she just told me, tell her what the outcome going to be of the situation. So October about October the 5th or something like that, I missed my court date, and they put a warrant out for me, and I went and turned myself in because I missed the court date.
Yeah, but you pled guilty in court to disturbing the peace, did you not?
Yes, ma'am, because up under my discretion, my parole officer said my charge get dismissed or they drop it down to a lower charge that she'll lift the hold, but ain't none of that right there proceeded. So I copped out to the charges just so that I can come home.
So the victim in this case, were y'all in the car?
No, ma'am. We was on Jackson Street. Ain't none of that never occurred.
And Miss Scott is the victim's name.
Yes, ma'am. We were never in no car.
When you come into a parole board room like this, there's one chair here where you will sit, and the chairs up here, the parole board will take up. Notice the looking down at you part, a sign of superiority, or so they think. What I will hope is that people will come into this room and take their best shot at release. So how does that happen? A few different things. The parole board wants to see contrition from you. They want to hear you apologize. They want to hear you take responsibility for whatever you're locked up for. The one thing they will not stand for is you going in there saying, oh, I didn't do it, I'm innocent, or the bitch lied on me, and yeah, it was all set up, blah, blah, blah. No, they're not going to go for that, and you're just hurting yourself. Always own up to your own shit. Second, they're going to go through your disciplinary record and see what exactly you've been doing while you're in prison. Have you been a badass, or have you stayed out of trouble, or have you just had a couple fights because you had to protect yourself? They look at all that, including programs, real big. If they have programs in the prison you're at and you don't take them, when you go before the parole board, you're going to get treated just like this because they're supposed to help. Do they? A lot of them are bullshit. You know, AA, NA. Look, people on drugs are not going to stop doing drugs until they are ready in their own mind. No matter what you tell them or what you threaten them with, they're still going to do it until the criminal thinking stops. Trust me, I know. So while you're in here, don't do this.
Saw you punched Miss Scott in the face several times. They won't said that.
I don't even know who that is. Like, I never seen my emotions or none of that. Like, that's why I was going to court every day, so that I can see my alleged, or guess cross-examine my witness, because that never happened. Like,
so I don't understand what you say happened. Tell us what you say happened.
I just told you, when she came over there, she thought me.
Where were you?
On Jackson Street, 35 something Jackson Street. I just know we was at a friend.
Whose house were you at?
My friend, Ralph.
All right, and what happened?
She came over there, and she thought that I was talking to the other girl, Lisa, and none of this stuff never occurred. So they got into it, and they had some words, and next thing you know, a fight broke out. Ma'am? Lisa
and Miss Scott got into it, you saying?
Yes, ma'am. And we broke the fight up. Like, and then about an hour or two later, the laws came.
You said we broke the fight up. Who did it?
Ma'am?
Who broke the fight up?
I did, and Ralph broke the fight up. Like, it was a lot of people over there. It was like a get-together.
What's your relationship now with Miss Scott?
Now, I don't talk to her. Like, after I told my probation officer what happened, and she told me to cut ties with her, that's what I did. Like, I never talked to her after that or to this day.
Did you get in jail?
No, I was out there. I bonded out that same day.
Yeah, I see, I understand.
I bonded out, stayed on the street for 6 months. And then when I was going to court, I missed my court date. And the next day, I thought it was on the 5th, but it was on the 4th. So when I did go on the 5th, he told me that I had a warrant out for my arrest. So I turned myself in.
Is there anything else you want to say? Y'all have any questions?
Yes, I have one question. Mr. Hart, good morning.
Yes, sir. Morning.
You said you broke up a fight between your girlfriend, Miss Scott, and another young lady. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And the fight was over with, and 2 hours later, the police came and asked for Michael Hart.
Yes, sir.
So I wonder why they would ask.
Because I guess she says that I did something to her, like, and when I told them everything, like, I had witness there and everything, like.
But we have a witness say that Ms. Walken said that you punched her in her face.
But that never occurred. Like, it never did occur. Like.
Okay, thank you.
Is there a statement you'd like to make?
Like, that's why, like, not too long ago, like, her brothers and her other sister even put a bubble on the just so that, you know, because they ain't know that I was in jail all this time. They thought I just left or whatever, and they wrote a statement for me and everything. My sister posted something to you. Like, that never occurred. Like, that's why I was going to court to fight these charges.
But then you pled guilty to disturbing the peace.
Yes, because I got stuff like, I got jobs out there, I got kids out there. Like, come on, like, I even told my lawyer.
Commander, is there anything you want to add, Gordon?
Yes, ma'am. He was booked in and transferred here on October 13th, 2023. He had a write-up for refusal to go to his cell when told to on October 19th, 2023. And he had another write-up on October the 23rd, 2023 for refusal to go to his cell when told to.
All right, thank you, sir. Martin, want to say anything else?
Man, I just had one right there because I just got out the shower.
All right, Mr. Martin, I think we're ready to vote. I'll be voting first for my vote today is going to be revoke your parole. You buy Mr. Roger.
Mr. Hart,
Yes, sir. I can't hear nothing you saying.
parole supervision
I can't hear
contract.
you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Mr. Hart, you're guilty of violating condition number 4 of your parole supervision contract involved in criminal activity. Therefore, I'm revoking your supervision.
Mr. Freeman.
I'm also finding guilty of violating conditions of his
Man, fuck y'all Crockers, man.
The United States has the highest incarceration rate of any democratic nation on earth because we have more than 1.9 million people locked up on any given day here in America. Nearly 3 million people were on probation or parole in the U.S. at the end of 2023. Absolute insanity. Yet, believe it or not, parole systems do not exist in 16 states who've abolished it. So you might be asking, how does parole work? The system affords prisoners the ability to fulfill the rest of their sentence in society, and there are 2 types of parole. Mandatory parole. Some states automatically grant parole hearings after prisoners serve a certain percentage of years incarcerated, but this privilege is not extended to everyone, folks. Not all crimes are eligible for parole, and in some states, repeat or violent offenders can lose their privileges to this altogether. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. I hope if you are on the wrong side of the law, you might have listened and maybe taken in a little bit. And for those of you who are just here for the ride, hey, as a criminalist, sometimes I have to make episodes like this, and I don't mind doing it. I would like to thank all of you guys who bought me a coffee this week at buymeacoffee.com, which is listed right in the channel description. Really appreciate you guys. You mean the world to me. And we'll see you right back here tomorrow.